Hi, I'm Ryan Ross, and I'm one of the owners with TMJ Construction. We're here at WesleyLife. WesleyLife was brought to us maybe 6 months or so ago, and it's been just a wonderful experience from start to finish. Encompassed windows, roofing, and of a couple different factors, low slope and metal roofing.
And I'm Troy Porter. I'm the Director of Construction Facilities and Development for WesleyLife. Well, this is a unique community for us as it's one of our older communities. That said, we have hundreds of residents here, and we wanted to ensure with the multifaceted scope that this involved, roofing, windows, building envelope entirely, that we had somebody we could go to who could handle all that. We didn't want to go to multiple parties knowing that it was going to be complex and everyone was going to have to work together in some pretty tight schedule parameters. So after talking with the guys at TMJ, we felt very comfortable with not only their plan, but their ability to execute. The other part was safety. For us, safety is our #1 priority for both our residents, but our community members, our staff, and employees. And the TMJ folks came with a very strong plan, and they followed through with it, which is something we certainly value in a situation like this. Yeah, a lot of it goes back to the resident interaction. We needed somebody who was going to prioritize on safety, who could hit multiple scopes of work at the same time, but then just general professionalism. TMJ went the extra mile. It was pretty cool for us to see that their folks learned a lot of our residents' names. They interacted on a daily basis, and they started to become an ingrained part of the community, and that has a unquantifiable value to us.
The overall scope of work for this project here at WesleyLife consisted of just over 10,000 square feet of standing seam metal roof, just over 50,000 square feet of flat or rubber roofing, and just over 526 windows and patio doors. We knew coming into this project that this specific job would have its own unique challenges, just based off of a couple of things. The lay of the land, being able to access the buildings 360 degrees with the complexity of work that needed to be done would be challenging. Hundreds of residents that would need to be disrupted from their homes in and out. Trash mitigation. One of the buildings is 8, 9, 10 stories in the air. Safety, and just overall, how are we going to accomplish it in a timeline that makes sense for everybody?
One thing that was really unique that I had never experienced and we had never experienced in other communities is that not only did they volunteer, but they facilitated a pre-kickoff meeting where they invited our staff, our residents, and anyone who would be disrupted during this phase to come learn about what was going to happen, hear the plan, and have the opportunity to ask questions. To me, that was really unique, and they did such a classy job of navigating that. Just very impressed.
How did we ensure that we were going to get this thing done on time, safety, and to a high standard? Well, I can speak to safety as #1. As Troy said earlier, it was and always will be our #1 priority, especially when you have hundreds of people, not just residents, but employees that you need to keep safe. We follow all OSHA guidelines. We have a plan before we start, and we execute that plan. It's the utmost important thing whenever you're doing any job, not just a job of this scope. Integrity, it's in our mission statement. It's so important to us that the job doesn't look good just when we leave, that it holds the test of time for 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road, that it functions and looks the way that it should. And time was a big one for us. This was a very large project. We had some aggressive goals coming into it. Winter was right behind it. But we operate our business off of extreme ownership, and there's a lot of different moving parts and a lot of different categories of this job and ownership of this job where people own what they do, and we manage from the top down. So communication. Troy led us into an apartment that was empty as a mock-up. Super important for this project. It allowed us to not only get in there ourselves, we mocked up the windows, we devised a plan with our teams, crews, and how we were going to mitigate the entire project from start to finish. It was a huge help.
So I come to the community on a weekly basis just to check in. Obviously, this was a larger capital project for us, so I was here more than I might usually be on a weekly basis. However, I would stop in. I would never interject myself, but most times I would kind of stand back from afar and just observe. I can't count how many times I saw employees stopping what they were doing and prioritizing the resident, no matter if it was getting the door for them, holding the elevator, and even some circumstances getting off the elevator so that the resident could get on and access their space. I don't know if it's tangible, but our residents are happier. I know Damon and myself have received so many thank you notes, which honestly should go to the TMJ folks for how much they love their new space, they love their new windows. They're just happier and they're extremely grateful. I can tell you from the energy saving standpoint, we don't mind the efficiencies of those either. If I had to use one word to describe the overall experience with TMJ, it would be professional. From the very beginning to the end of the project, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. They handled it with immense grace, and they treated our residents like they were their own.
TMJ's partnership with WesleyLife is a great one. Troy mentioned we have very similar synergies, core values from their company to ours. You know, we have very similar growth projections, I think aligned us very well. Are you in 11 different cities within the state of Iowa?
Technically, we have 11 CHLs. Yeah, 2 of them fall in the same city.
In the same city. So their strategy for growth and ours, TMJ now in 3 different cities, and it allows us to help each other and to grow together.
I mean, to Ryan's point about having a partnership that can stretch just beyond this community and into others, it's nice for me to be able to have people that we can rely on, so when teammates in Newton or teammates in Atlantic or teammates in Bettendorf call us and they need referrals or somebody who can help do such a complex project, I have no hesitation in recommending TMJ.
In all seriousness, working with you, Troy, has been not only a great experience, but a learning experience. I'm just so grateful to get to know you and everybody here. We've learned a lot. We're ready to do it again, and excited for the future for the both of us.
I appreciate that. We have the immense amount of gratitude towards you and your team and what you've done. And again, we feel like you're a part of this community now, and I don't say that lightly.
Yeah, we can feel it. Thank you.